What's up, guys? We're back in Tsukihime.
Tsukihime. Sorry that the last video was all messed up. We weren't prepared at all, and we had file corruption and bad audio. Hopefully it's fixed this time. Or it should be. Continue. Okay, so this is your first choice, Dawson, before you press anything.
Yeah.
This is one choice that I might want to save for a later route. I'm gonna leave you to pick most choices, but for this one, you should head to homeroom. There's only a couple I'll tell you what to do, and this is one of them.
I mean, that's what I would do. I would
just go to homeroom anyways. Okay, then it doesn't matter. Okay.
I arrived in class earlier than usual. Phew, I walked to my desk next to the window. Good morning, Tono-kun. An unfamiliar voice greets me. Huh? Turn around, confused. Ah!
You got these motherfucking D's, Rosie Perez.
The teacher was looking for you. He said he wanted to talk to you about your house. My home? Must be about me moving. I should have finished the formalities yesterday. Perhaps there's something I forgot to do. Blank.
Blank.
The girl doesn't move, but stands there looking at me. Good morning, Yumizuka.
Oh my god, she's a mouth breather. Look. Mouth breather. Mouth breather.
Yeah, good morning, Tono-kun. Looks like you remember my name. Sighing with relief, Yumizuka Satsuki gives me a faint smile.
It goes Satsuki.
Oh.
The T's silent there.
I can remember the names of my own classmates, you know. It's just that I haven't spoken to you much. Yeah, I was a little nervous about talking to you. Yumizuka smiles again.
Is this Riz? Is this Riz?
Is this Riz?
Is this Riz?
She seems happy about something. Blank! Yumizuka continues to stare at me as if she wants to say something else. To be honest, I didn't know her that well. Although, we're in the same class, I can count the times we've spoken. But Yumizuka Satsuki is the center of attention. She's often the topic of conversation among the boys, and there aren't many bad rumors about her among the girls. In short, she's your typical class idol. Naturally, she's always surrounded by a crowd. She's the complete opposite of a loner like me. While I might
He's just so alone in the world.
I'm just a lone
No one understands him.
I'm a lone wolf Sigma.
I'm a Sigma. That's true. That's true.
While I might be able to remember the name Yumizuka Satsuki, there's no reason for her to remember the name Tonoshiki. Seems like some bothersome coincidences are at work today. Tono-kun, can I ask you a question? If I can answer, you can ask as many as you want. Sorry if it's something personal, but you said you're moving. Are you going to move somewhere far away? Voice trails off as a hard for her to ask. Class friends start crazy. I know it's sudden, but will you be transferring somewhere? No. I'm changing my residence, but not my school. My new house is still in this town anyway, so it's no big deal. Oh, that's good. Yumizuka sighs with relief. How odd. Why would something like me moving cause that kind of reaction? But are you gonna leave the Arimas? Yeah. I enjoyed living with them, but I can't leech off them forever. Huh? How does Yumizuka know that?
Yeah, how does she know that?
No one at the school should know I was living with the Arimas except for a certain guy. What's up,
Fucking
Tono?
mouth breather.
Carefree laugh.
Okay, I need to voice this guy. I want to vote this guy.
Okay.
Okay. Wait, are you gonna read the next line? Come on, I'm just gonna read his quotations.
Oh, okay. Sorry. A carefree loud voice rings out from the classroom doorway. As if on cue, the guy who's been my friend since middle school appears.
Hey, Fizz, Yumizuka! I'm not seeing you talking to Tono.
Morning, Inui-kun. Yumizuka looks away with an enthusiastic reply. I guess she isn't the type who would respond well to a guy like him.
Tono's picking up chicks! Is that Riz? What the hell is going on? Thought you weren't interested in them. Little fat.
Arihiko exclaims his joke loudly. Wait, is that him?
No, that's you.
Okay. You moron, stop spreading lies. I'm a normal guy. Of course I'm interested in girls.
Is that right? Good for you, man. Still, these days, girls find it more amusing. What is he saying? I forgot about that.
What are you, man?
You have a weird sex drive instead. But they'll only find out amusing and it won't get any farther.
His bottomless, cheerful laughter echoes throughout the morning classroom. Like that, another sigh. I once again wonder, like I have many times before, how I ended up knowing this person. His hair dyed orange, ears pierced. His vicious glare that shouts he will pick a fight with anyone, anytime, and is wearing of rebellious clothes. Inui Arihiko is the only free-spirited outlaw in our university-oriented high school. Do you have to be so loud in this early in the morning? I'm so depressed about all sorts of stuff, so stay away from me today, okay? I waved my hand to shoo him away. Depressed?
Depressed? What's wrong, man? Is it that time of the month?
What?
You're on your period right now.
Wait, I take that back. Rather than just for today, stay away from me for the rest of my life. My depression will only get worse with you around. Ignoring Arihiko, I head back to my own desk. Dropping my bag and taking a seat, I stretch my back.
Hey, you can't just ignore other people like that, Tono. You're gonna hurt people with that careless attitude of yours.
Oh, that's news to me. Isn't there some way I can kill them instead? If you can tell me how, I'll repay you by trying it out on you.
That's cold, man. Are you just a little nastier than usual this morning?
Didn't I tell you I'm depressed? Other people aside, I'm certainly not showing any kindness to you. Arihiko sighed.
Are you only mean to me, Tono? You're like a saint to everyone else. It's not fair.
What, you just figured that out? The world's unfair.
You really are only mean to me. Why am I in the Batman voice?
Arihiko gives another exaggerated sigh. I didn't try particularly hard to be cold to Arihiko. That's just the kind of relationship we have. So, Arihiko, what's a chronically late night owl who never shows up until second period doing here in homeroom? It's a little no. It's very odd.
I was thinking that too. I guess being at school on time isn't just for when I happen to wake up early.
Well, I won't comment on your hobbies, but what I'm asking is why you woke up early.
Why I woke up early? I guess it's because I can't stay out late since all that fuss started, so I actually go to sleep at night now. You ever heard the stories about that serial killer, haven't you?
I see. Come to think of it, I did hear something like that. I feel a tinge of regret at needing Arihiko to remind me. For the past 2 or 3 days, I've been debating whether or not to return to the Tono household, so I completely lost touch with the news. What was that again? They given it some really nasty name, like the freakish serial killings or something.
There's more to it. So far, all the victims have been young girls. The 8th victim was only 2 days ago. And to top it all off, they were all... Wait, what happened to them again?
Arihiko tilts his head in contemplation. I'm an idiot for asking him. Yeah,
I remember now. All the victims were cut up into pieces and arranged in a pattern or something.
No, Inui-kun. Everyone who was killed lost a lot of blood. Oh yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that was it. They said it's some kind of modern day vampire or something.
Hmm. Sure know a lot about this, Yumizuka-san. Uh,
Hmm.
hmm. Not
Hmm.
really. It's happening this town, so it's in the news. You remember it even if you didn't want to. I see. I thought it was happening in a neighboring town, but I guess it moved down here. Well, anyway, that's what happened. Even I wouldn't be going on the streets at night with a killer walking around. That's why I'm waking up at 7. Or no,
Oh,
wait,
I was supposed to
that's
read
you.
that. Yeah, I didn't even realize. Well, anyway, that's what happened. Even I wouldn't be going on the streets at night with a killer walking around. That's why I've been waking up at 7 lately.
What, that's it? Having a good reason doesn't make a good story. Where's the fun in that?
Man, you're cold. What, did you collapse from anemia already this morning?
I'm alright, thanks for asking. If I was anemic 24 hours a day, I'd be dead by now. Yeah, or.
Yeah, you're right. If you say you're okay, then I guess you're okay.
And the bell rings, interrupting our conversation. Hey, class is about to begin. Hurry up and get back to your seat. With that,
Yeah.
Orihiko goes back to his seat. See you later, Tono-kun. Yeah. Sorry for keeping you, Yumizuka-san. Her light footsteps tap across the floor as he returns to her desk.
Oh my god, my throat hurt doing that voice. Holy shit. So there's serial killings. Oh my god.
Serial killer!
Vampire serial killer.
Second period is over. Her homeroom teacher, who's also our math teacher, calls out to me as he leaves. Tono, your documents are missing some details. Please go visit the office. It shouldn't take long, so I'll head to the office before the third period starts. The office on the first floor. Second year classroom is on the third floor, but I can make it back before a third period starts if I run. I run. And run. And
and
the impact floors
uh
me with a thud. My head hits something, and the world swims before my eyes. Ow, 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 ow! I hear a voice nearby. It's a woman's voice I've never heard before. Looks like I ran into someone. I'm sorry, you're right. I still can't see my surroundings too well, but I apologize. Yes, I'm alright. How about you? Are you okay? There's no trace of accusation in that gentle voice. I don't know who she is, but it seems like she's worried about me. Yeah, I'm also okay. I shake my head and stand up. Finally, I can see clearly. Are you really alright? Your forehead is swelling up. Eh? I feel a prickle of pain when I try to touch it with my hand. Just like she said, I'm developing a magnificent lump. it's the
best best
it's
translation.
it's the mystical tree.
It's the I'm developing a magnificent lump.
I'm so sorry. I was not paying attention to where I was going. Your forehead must really hurt, right? The female student gazes apologetically at my face. From the formal way she spoke, I assumed she was a first year, but from the color of ribbon, I could she's a third year. In other words, my senpai. No, it's fine, don't
Ah.
worry. I'm the one at fault. I'm sorry for banging into you,
Me.
senpai. I lower my head in the bow. Come to think of it, you're right. You shouldn't be running down the hallways, you know. There are people like me spaced out while looking down at the courtyard. Yes, I'll be more careful. Are you alright, senpai?
It's an actual word in Japan.
I
You don't need to think of yandere dem every time.
no, I think of like fucking. I get basically I get like Miss Nagatoro ads on on my fucking YouTube, and she only says senpai, which makes it sound so much weirder.
Yeah, okay, but senpai is like a word to refer to someone who's like a higher level than you. Like in a work environment, it would be someone who's like got a higher position than you, right?
Okay,
Or like someone who's a higher grade than you. That's your senpai.
okay. Yes, I only fell. It's because you ran into the wall while trying to avoid hitting me, Tonovan. Really? No wonder I'm seeing stars. Lucky to go off with just a bump after running into a wall at that speed. Sorry about that, but spacing out in the hallway is also dangerous, senpai. Yes, I'll be more careful. Senpai smiles and nods. It's an honest smile. Excuse me, I'd best be going. Beating the dust off my pants, I begin walking towards the office. But the older student continues to watch me through her glasses. Wait, just who is she? I was distracted because I ran into her, but come to think of it, she's beautiful. If she's this beautiful, the male students would be talking about a third-year beauty wearing glasses. I'm going now. You should go back to your classroom too, senpai. Yeah, if you're in any pain, please come to my classroom. I'm Tono from second year, third class. I'll take responsibility. He nods. Even though she's older than me, it's like dealing with someone younger. Oh, I keep opening it.
You just gotta make
Alright,
sure not to right click.
yeah. If anything happens, I'll come to your classroom at lunchtime. Remember, Shiki-kun, you mustn't run in the hallways. Okay, but you shouldn't space out in hallways either, senpai. With that, I wave my hand and leave. Wait, Shiki-kun? I haven't told her my first name. Come to think of it, did she use my name earlier too? Huh? Have I met you before, senpai? Eh? She cries out in surprise and mischievously puts on a depressed face. You're terrible, Tono-kun. You forgotten about me? Forgotten? No, I didn't think so. If I ever got myself involved with a beautiful woman like her, there'd be no way I'd forget. Reproachfully. Those eyes. I'm sure I remember somewhere, don't I? Don't think of it. We just trained
Kind of
greetings
mumbling
once.
now.
I'm mumbling, you said?
Yeah, you're mumbling. You
Oh,
need to
sorry.
be a little bit more clear.
Come to think of it, we exchanged greetings once or twice before, didn't we? Shiel-senpai, right? I say your name apprehensively. Yes, and I'm glad you remember. You seem the type to space out and forget, Tono. I don't think I space out, but there's nothing I can do about the fact that I forgot. Well then, goodbye. Let's meet again at lunchtime. Shiel-senpai bows again. I watch her walk down the hallway. What happened to the music, by the way? It's silent.
There isn't a lot of music in this game, but I don't know why it's not playing. If you want, you can try reopening the game, but...
It's lunchtime. Now then, where should I eat lunch? Go out to the
Okay,
hallway and think
this
about it.
this doesn't matter, you just decide that.
Okay, go into the hallway to think about it. Go eat in the cafeteria. Eat lunch in class. Personally, I don't. Sure.
Go into the hallway and think about
The hall during lunchtime is packed. Student heads to the cafeteria or to their favorite places, luncheons in hand. Caught in a flow of people, I can contemplate whether I should go into the cafeteria or the store. Taken aback by my own leisure. If I have time to waste here, I better go if I'd be better if I go to the cafeteria where Arihiko is.
it. Arihiko.
Almost all the seats in the cafeteria are taken. Because I spaced out in the hallway, empty seats are pretty much non-existent at this point. Aren't there any empty seats? I cast my gaze over the crowded cafeteria. There shouldn't be any spare seats this late, but I decide to check out the tables anyway. Ah, I'm surprised. No, I'm astounded. There, plain as day, is a table with not two, not even three, but four unoccupied seats. There are two students sitting at the table, and it seems one of them noticed me during my efforts to locate a seat. Yo, Tono!
Yo, Tono!
Oh yeah, your voice. The student vigorously waving his hand is my dear classmate with the dyed orange hair. My head hurts. But there isn't anywhere else to sit, so I have no choice but to return to the wave and talk towards the table where my friend is sitting. An unexpected person is sitting at the table with him. Huh, CL-senpai? Ah, this isn't Tono. We point at each other simultaneously. Hey Tono, wait, senpai, you
Yo,
know...
Tono! Wait,
Oh,
senpai, you know Tono? Ah, just hit my knee again. Damn it!
yes, I've met him once today already. We bumped into each other with a bang today, didn't we, Tono? Yes, sorry about that. I might head an apology. Not at all. I'm also sorry for spacing out like that. You're a serious person, aren't you, Tono-kun? Serious? No, not really. Smiling, Senpai gives me a satisfied nod. How should I say this? Senpai has a unique atmosphere around her. But it's sure surprising that Tono and Inui can know each other. Could it be that you two are in the same class? Or,
That's right. Me and Tomo are more than casual acquaintances. We've been in the same class since our first year, and we've been inseparable best friends since middle school. I totally sound like I'm from some Nickelodeon commercial.
my best. Or I almost started talking at you. My best friends. My best friend strikes the table with a bang for emphasis. Is it just me? Or is he more hyper than usual?
Come on, best friend, sit down. If you just keep standing there vacantly, your Chikara udon is going to go stale. Hurry up and sit down and let me hear all about how you got to know Senpai.
Orihiko slaps my back cheerfully.
Oh no, Ariko, don't give Shiki back shots.
While I
No.
really have no other story like Arihiko might be hoping for, there are no other seats available. Reluctantly, I take a seat next to him. Seems Arihiko is close with Senpai. In contrast with me, who's only met her a few times, he's able to talk to her quite casually. It's you.
By the way, Senpai, you said that you ran into Tono. What happened?
Yes, I bumped into Tono-kun between classes. I wasn't hurt, but Tono-kun bumped his head.
Owie!
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 Ouch! I wouldn't have thought
I would
Tono
have
would do
thought
something.
Tono would do something as clumsy as that.
This guy.
This guy may look spaced out, but he's actually an unbelievably sharp guy. He doesn't like to depend on others, and he hates causing troubles for others. He's just such a lone wolf. No one understands.
I also got that impression. He was only concerned about me when we ran into each other, and he apologized to me just now, too.
See? That's the kind of guy he is. So he doesn't make those kind of mistakes. It could be that your anemia was acting up again.
Arihiko's voice shows a serious concern for my physical health. No, it's not that. I was running to the office to deal with some details for me moving. It's when I ran into Senpai.
Really? Well, I thought you became careless because you're depressed over the move.
Arihiko folds his arms and nods to himself in our agreement. And then, anyways, Senpai exclaims almost hysterically. I'm not changing school, Senpai. I'm just changing my place of residence, so I filed the paperwork for a change of address. So that means you're gonna be living alone? No, I'm just going back to my real home. It's that fancy place on the top of the hill. I still can't quite believe it yet. Oh, could that possibly be the Tono-san mansion? Senpai asked with some hesitation. The western-style house on top of the hill is probably seen as something special to the residents of this town. I haven't been there for 8 years, but even in my memories, the Tono mansion was ridiculously large. Yeah, that's right. I don't think it's the right place for me either, but it's too late now that I'm done moving. It's you.
Oh, you don't seem to be too happy about it. Austin?
Hold up, I gotta pause again.
There's some lag as well.
Okay,
Yeah, there's a little bit of lag
you read
for
that
me.
now?
I'm just gonna show you. Yeah. You don't seem too happy about it.
It's not a particularly good or bad thing. I don't really understand it myself. That's you.
Well, even if it is your house, it's been 8 years, right? I can understand if you're feeling restless. It'll probably feel like someone else's house for a while.
I wonder if that's so. I haven't gone back yet, so I don't know. Well, I'm a bit relaxed since I always got a refuge at your place.
Listen, you. I'm not impressed with how you come to stay at my house every time something bad happens. I like your personality trait of not standing out, but I've hated how you're always too reserved for a long time now.
Arihiko strikes the table with a bang again. Oh my god! That one was. Well, everything Arihiko said is true, so there's no way to fight back. Inui-kun, does Tono-kun really stay at your house that often? Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does. That damn Tono is too reserved toward his parents. You come to my place every long vacation. He's reserved towards them because they're taking care of him. That's why he comes over to my place where we conveniently have an empty room. Since he looks pretty decent, my sister took a liking to him, and he shamelessly comes to stay with us without paying us. That's kind of interesting.
Oh, I gotta
His
do something
sister's
real quick.
Okay, another cut.
Good. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Arihiko's fist trembles as if to say, unforgivable! Taking care of Tono-kun? Ah. Arihiko clamps a hand over its mouth. That's you.
Oh, this is me. Okay, sorry, I wasn't looking for a second. Sorry, I should have thought before I spoke.
It's okay. He didn't say anything bad. I continue to eat my chikara
Don't worry. Just say.
chikara udon without looking at Arihiko. Really?
Really? Yeah, you're right. If you complain about that, you'll be in for some punishment.
Arihiko nods to himself in agreement. His overwhelming optimism is something that I'm truly envious of.
Tono-kun. Oh, wait, no, sorry.
Tono-kun, did you not get along with your previous family?
No, that's not it. This guy had no problem with the Arimas. Oh, the Arimas are the families that took care of them. They're really nice people, and from what I could see, they're a happy family. Even so, he refused to be their adopted child, and he escaped to my place every vacation. Sheesh. Just what were you not satisfied with anyways?
There's nothing I wasn't satisfied about. It's just that I've received so much from them already, I didn't want to be a further burden on them. Senpai drops her shoulders and falls silent. Looks like she's sorry for asking about my family situation. It's okay, Senpai. Sorry for making you listen to something so boring.
You're mumbling again.
Not at all. I'm sorry for asking you something so strange, too. Senpai forces herself to look cheerful. The topic might be fine for a longtime friend like Arihiko, but a complex matter like this would have only been troublesome for Senpai. And to prove my point, Senpai sits there uneasily. Listen, Senpai. I finished eating, so I'll be leaving now. I'm really sorry. Senpai lowers her head in a quick bow and leaves her seat. Only me and Arihiko remain at the table. Sorry. You are finally able to eat with just the two of you, but I got
That's
in
your
the way.
line. Don't worry about it. That was my fault for not paying attention. I thought it was bad for Senpai, actually.
Arihiko slurps away at his udon. It's like he's gone cold while we were talking. Well, that was convenient for us anyway. I've got something to talk to you about in private, so it was lucky that Senpai left first. What's wrong? Getting all serious all of a sudden?
But what's wrong? Getting all serious all of a sudden. I'll tell you now, I don't have any money. From today onwards, I'm going to be living life as a penniless youth.
What? Not that, damn it. What I want to know is this. What's really going on with you?
Oh wait,
Oh no, wait,
that
that's
was
you?
backwards. That was backwards. What? Damn it.
Damn. Okay, let me read that. What's wrong? Getting all serious all of a sudden? I'll tell you now. I don't have any money. From today onwards, I'm going to be living life as a penniless youth.
It's not that, damn it. I want to know this. What I want to know is this. What's really going on with you, Tono?
What do you mean?
You've been at the Arima since primary school, right? I don't know why, but it's been 8 years already. Your dad has basically disinherited you. Why is he calling you back all of a sudden?
I see. In his own way, he is worried about me. He didn't disinherit me. He just kicked me out of the house for some reason. Tono-kun.
If there ever is a house that kicks their child out of their house for some reason, that's not a tragedy. It's a comedy. Oh, it's a party joke, but it's so boring. It's not funny.
Arihiko spreads his arm and shrugs.
Ugh.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If you get kicked out of the house, all you really can do is laugh. Said some, and then he said some, cliche
And then
line
he
like,
said,
"Never
I
step
don't know
foot
who
in this
this is,
house
just read
again,"
it.
or something like that. No, wait, that was you.
That was me. And then he said some cliche line like, never step foot in this house again, or something like that, right? That's what people would call disinheritance. Come to think of it, I've never heard why you were disinherited.
Who knows? Something I'd like to know too. Well, if you don't want to talk about it, you don't. Or no, wait, that was you.
Well, if you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to.
Grabbing his throat with both hands, Arihiko drains his cold green soup.
Okay, there we go.
Lunchtime is short. Following Arihiko, I decide to quickly eat my own chikara udon.
Okay, you said it right. There we go.
The last class of the day ends. I don't feel like going to the mansion right away, so I blankly stare at the window overlooking the school grounds. The classroom is dyed orange by the sunset. It's like red watercolor paint, and it hurts my eyes. I don't like red. It feels so. I feel it feels like it soaks deep into the back of my eyes, and I want to throw up. It seems I am weak against things that resemble blood. No, I should say I'm weak against blood itself. 8 years ago, I had a near-death experience. I was in an accident where I was injured in the chest, and I teetered between life and death for days. Should have died instantly, but miraculously I survived. Maybe it's because of the great medical treatment. However, the injuries were so severe that I don't even remember the accident. 8 years ago, when I was a child, I felt a thud pass right through the middle of my chest. Then I passed out. When I woke up, I was in a hospital bed. All I could remember afterwards was the pain and the
You're
cold.
mumbling again.
I don't remember much of the accident, but even today, the scar on my chest remains. I guess numerous fragments of glass pierced my chest, leaving burn-like scars there in my back. Actually, I was quite surprised at being saved. Even ever since then, I frequently collapse from anemia like dizziness, and cause a lot of trouble for others. Maybe that's why my old man believed I was unfit to inherit the Tono household and entrusted me to our relatives. The wound on my chest, huh? Huge scar in the middle of my chest, hidden from view by my uniform. Now that I think about it, after that accident when I was started to see those lines, I'm able to forget them thanks to the glasses that Sensei gave me. But I think I would have completely gone mad if I never met her. Kiko-san, the person who had been my mother up until now, said when I left that the Tono household wasn't normal. No problem. I'm not a normal person myself. Adjusting my crooked glasses, I pick up my bag. I can't stay in the classroom forever. Now then, get a hold of myself and head back to the mansion, or stay in school for a little longer. Yeah. I don't have anything to do, so I hurry up and leave school. Come to think of it, I haven't left the school by the main entrance since the entrance ceremony. I guess this will be the way to and from school now on, since I live in the mansion. Leaving from the main gate, I come to the intersection that leads to the residential district. This is the point. This is the point at oh, at which the path to the main city in the residential district where the main mansion is part. Oh, it's Tono-kun. So I run into Yumizuka. Hey, it's Yumizuka-san.
Okay, we're gonna see this scene. I'm so glad you got this scene. This scene's good.
Yumi Yumizuka-san looked at me, bewildered. Yumizuka-san? Is there something on my face? I was wondering what you were doing here, Tono-kun. Isn't your house in the other direction? Well, it was until yesterday, but I'm living somewhere else starting today. From now on, I'll be living at the place at, at the end of that residential district on the top of the hill. Oh, so that's what you were talking about this morning. You claps her fist and hand together in understanding. Well, all flattery aside, that gesture seems incredibly cute. That's right. I guess there is no point from hiding it in you, since you already know. I'm leaving my guardians, the Arimus, and going back to my real house today. Your
Ugh.
real house? You mean the Tono-san mansion? Yeah. I don't think it really suits me either. I see. You're really a prince on top of a hill, after all. It was a secret only Unikun and I knew, but I guess everyone's going to find out. With a faint smile, Yumizuka casts her gaze into the distance. She looks out at the horizon as if looking at the Tono mansion off in the distance and the top of the hill. But will you be alright? Even if it is your house. You've been away for 8 years, right? Aren't you afraid or worried? Yeah, I'm actually kind of uneasy. I never liked that mansion to begin with, and now it's going to feel like someone else's house too. But still, I can't lead a carefree life on my own and leave my sister Akiha there all by herself. No matter how uneasy I am, I have to return to the mansion. In the end, it's still my home. I think it's only natural for me to go back. I see.
I'm
Sorry for
surprised
stopping
there's
you.
no music playing.
Yeah.
Let me check if there's supposed to be music during this scene. Because there should be. Or I don't know if there should be. Hold on. Scenes. This is here. Okay, I don't think there's supposed to be music.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Music will start in a minute, though. It
I
should.
see. Sorry for stopping you, Tonu-kun. You must be in a hurry, right? No, not really. I was just having a stroll on the way home. I see. For some reason, Yumizuka looks downcast and falls silent. What's wrong, Yumizuka? Are you feeling sick? I ask her. But she continues to stare downwards without raising her head. I can't just leave her there, so I continue to stand here looking at her. And then, um, yeah, what? I'm going home along the same way as you until we reach the hill. Really? Then let's go together for part of the way. Eh? No, I didn't. And she stands there stiffly for a moment. Yeah, you're right. We're going back the same way, so it would be strange for us to go together for part of the way, right?
I think there is supposed to be music playing during this scene.
She says this all with an excessively cheerful voice and comes right beside me. Just the right
Press
time,
right
too.
click. Press right click.
I did.
Check your config. Quick. Or how about you save real quick and then reopen the page. See what that does. You can just overwrite that save. Did you save? Did your save? No, it didn't. Click.
Overwrite.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Now reopen the page.
Oh.
Can you hear music now?
No. Weird.
No, I meant like close the window and open a new one.
Oh.
Then just click continue. Okay. Then load.
Progress restored.
No, I guess not.
Okay.
Okay.
Just the right time too. I'm not too familiar with the streets around here, so would you mind guiding me? Sure. Then let's go down this street. It's a back street that leads all the way to the street on the hill. I walk home while chatting with Yumizuka. Talking to Yumizuka isn't anything particularly special, but it's enjoyable in a peaceful kind of way. Yumizuka Satsuki has a gentle air about her, and I feel safe when I'm with her. Hoo. While we were talking, Yumizuka suddenly laughs as she had remembered something. What is it all of a sudden? Did I say something funny? No, that's not it. It's just that starting tomorrow, I'll be taking the same route to school as you. She laughs, looking truly happy. That honest, smiling face is enough to make me also happy as I watch her. I didn't realize it up until now. Even putting her looks and mannerisms aside, Yumizuka Satsuki is kind of cute. I'm slowly beginning to understand why the boys in our class had been so worked up over her for so long now. Conversation ceases. I'm suddenly fascinated by Yumizuka's smile, and the two of us fall silent. Without saying anything, we walk toward the residential district in the sunset. Suddenly, hey, do you remember what happened during the winter vacation of our
Thumbnail.
thumbnail? Do you remember what happened during the winter vacation of our second year of middle school?
Wait,
Yumizuka
hold on. Stop real
murmurs.
quick.
Yeah.
Okay. There's some music that'll come up later.
Okay.
I want to see if it'll play for you, because there's another song that just didn't play for you.
Huh. Yumizuka murmurs. Hmm? I tilt my head to one side. The winter vacation of the second year of middle school was when I had applied to stay for extra lessons at school because I felt bad about staying at the Arimas. I remember it well enough, but I still don't understand why she'd ask me about it. Just that I thought, someone like Tono-kun would have never had remembered. Disappointed, Mizuka's shoulders droop. There were two sports sheds at our middle school, remember? One was a new shed used by the big clubs, and the other one was an old one used by the smaller clubs like badminton. The old shed had a certain problem where the alignment of the door was bad, so there were often times when it couldn't open. Old shed, that little concrete building at the back of the gymnasium. That shed. The one the one which they stopped using after some students got trapped inside. Yeah, that's the one. Students were second year from the badminton club.
Okay, pause.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that did happen. It was early in the new year on a cold winter's day. The first 3 days of the new year having passed, I had applied for extra lessons
Also,
and
talk
requested.
louder now that music's playing.
Yeah, New Year having passed, I had applied for extra lessons and requested to stay behind at the school and help out because I felt bad about staying at the Arimas. But even that was only until 5 in the evening. It became dark and I was forced out of the classrooms as all the teachers were going home. Out the middle of winter. Even if it was only 5, the surroundings had really darkened. The weather report had predicted snow for that day, and the cold was extra harsh. And so, when I decided to head straight home for the day, I heard a banging sound from the old shed and went to check things out. Is anyone in there? I asked, and I heard the voices of several female students in reply from inside the shed. They had been trapped in there for 2 hours. While packing up the club equipment, they had closed the door because of the cold, and now it wouldn't open again. They couldn't open the door no matter what, and wanted to help me to call one of the teachers for help. But the teachers had all gone home. Even if I were to call them now on the phone, it would at least take another hour. The cold on that day was truly terrible.
Try using space instead of your mouse. It works, too.
Okay, hold up. Let me... There.
Text display speed, okay. And then use space instead of, click.
In the kind of cold that should have prompted snow, I thought it would be cruel to leave those girls stuck in the shed wearing only their PE uniforms for another hour.
What? Oh, I guess you're gonna have to use click.
Oh.
Yeah, usually in visual novels, space also works, but you'll have to use click, I guess. Space.
After some hesitation...
No, please don't use that. Could you switch back to the old text speed? Please.
Oh.
See.
Okay.
Thank you.
After some hesitation, and confirming that no one else was around, I took off my glasses and cut the line on the shed door. The door opened, and about 5 female students, eyes red from crying, poured out. Come to think of it, there was something like that, but I'm surprised you know about it. The captain of the badminton club who had been trapped had told me. This has to do with the club's survival, so don't tell anyone else. It's almost like she was threatening me. What? Oh, Tono,
How do you click X?
you had no interest in knowing who was trapped inside there, did you? Listen, I was one of those badminton club members. Yumizuka sounds like she's pouting. So in other words, I still remember it well. When I think about it now, it was only being trapped inside a shed, but at the time it was cold and dark, and I was really worried. Everyone thought they were going to freeze to death like that. My stomach was growling from hunger too. I was just about to collapse. It must have been rough. I can't really empathize with her, so I give her a half-hearted response. Concerned, Yumizuka continues her recollections, bringing up old events and new. And just when everyone was trembling, you came along and asked if anyone in there, in your usual unexcited voice. And then the captain got angry and shouted, "Can't you tell just by looking? Do you remember?" Yeah, I remember. There was a loud bang when she threw a bat at the door. I was really surprised. That's right, Yumizuka says, laughing. But when we heard all the teachers had gone home, we really lost all hope. We couldn't stand being there for even a minute longer, and we had to face the prospect of being trapped until the next day. Even when we were just when we were thinking about how miserable the world was, you knocked on the door and said, "I might be able to open the door if you can keep it a secret." Yeah. And then I heard another bang, and someone else said, "If it opened that easily, we wouldn't be suffering in here." She was really angry. Haha. Yeah, the captain felt responsible for getting us trapped, so she didn't have much patience to spare. But soon after that door opened, everyone was happy that the captain's
I'm mumbling again.
everyone was happy that the captain's knocking with the bat must have worked and ran outside, but I was watching you standing by the door. Yumizuka looks at me warmly. But that only troubles me. To me, it meant nothing, so I can't really appreciate her gratitude. I was crying real hard at the time. My eyes just felt like they were swelling up, and they looked terrible. What do you think you said when you saw me like that? I don't know. What did I say? I don't really remember, so I asked as if it were something else. Sorry. So I asked as if it were something someone else had done. Despite this, Yumizuka still looks at me happily. You put your hand on my head and said, "Hurry up and go home and eat some ozoni."
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I was a little embarrassed because I was trembling so much from the cold. I knit my brows. I don't know what I meant back then. I think you meant for me to warm up my body by having some ozuni. I see. It was right after New Year's after all. It does sound like the stupid kind of thing I would say. Now, it's put me like this, I regret not having picked something better to say. Back then I thought there are plenty of reliable people at school, but if I ever really needed to be saved, it would be someone like Tonu-kun who saves me. You're exaggerating. Look, it's like how a baby chick thinks the first human it meets is its mother. I just happened to help you. That's not true. Ever since then, I really believed that you'd come and help me no matter what the problem was. Her expression is quite resolute. You're giving me too much credit, Yumizuka. I'm not that reliable of a person. It's alright. It's what I believe, so let me keep believing it. You pronounce while staring straight at me, and I am too embarrassed to offer a rebuttal. Well, I guess you can believe what you want. Isn't that right? So if I'm ever in a pinch, you come and help me, right? Musico asked me, smiling. To be honest, that would be kind of troubling. Despite what she thinks, I'm not the sort of guy who can do everything. I'm not, but when she faces with that smile, I don't want to destroy that faith that she has in me. Yeah, if it's within my power, I'll help you. Yep, thank you, Tono-kun. I know it's a bit late to say this, but I was really happy because of what you said to me back then. So saying, Yumizuka suddenly stops. Naturally, I stop too. I've always wanted to talk with you like this, Tono-kun. Somewhere in her voice was a hint of wistfulness. Perhaps it's because of the red light from the sunset, but somehow Yumizuka looks lonely. What do you mean? You can talk to me anytime. No, I can't. Nui-kun is always around you, and besides, I can't become someone like you, Tono-kun. With that reserved answer, Yumizuka draws away from me. Well, my house is this way, so I'll see you at school tomorrow. Bye bye. Smile. Bye bye.
Bye
Smiling.
bye.
Smiling, Yumizuka waves her hand and begins walking down another street. Walk along a different path than the one I usually take. Passing through unfamiliar streets, I slowly approached the
Okay,
Tono
turn on the
mansion.
music, please. It's probably gonna be too loud. Turn it down just a notch. Okay, there we go.
The surroundings are not completely unfamiliar. After all, I had lived here until I was 9 years old, 8 years ago. This is not the first time I have taken this path back to the mansion. My feelings are a little complex. The path home is nostalgic yet fresh. Up until now, I have not looked forward to returning to the Tono household. No, it doesn't seem too bad.
Locked in a shed. Come help me in a pinch.
The house I lived until I was 9 years old. Right now, my sister Akiha is in that utterly un-Japanese Western-style mansion. Tono Makihisa.
Un-Japanese.
Un-Japanese. Tono Makihisa, my old man who hated me, and the master of the Tono household, died a few days ago. My mother died from illness after Akiha was born, so the Tonos had dwindled down to me and my sister. Being the eldest son, you'd think I'd stand to become the Tono here, but I have no such privilege.
Heir.
Hair.
Do you know what
To
an heir
become-
is?
The one in
It's
power,
like
I don't fucking know.
No, it kind of. It's someone who like inherits, like it's like inheriting the throne. You're the heir to the throne or whatever. And that's in like a kingly sense. This is in like a business owning head of the family sense. The
become
heir
the
is the
Tono-
person who becomes the leader of the family next.
To become the
essentially the head of the
Tono
family.
hair means being bound
Heir.
by a
There's no
hair.
H.
Heir, okay.
Heir.
Means being bound by a strict upbringing. I have lost count of the number of times my father scolded me over my dislike of not being able to live freely. That's when I got involved in that accident. My body became weakened. My father saw it as a good opportunity to get rid of me. His reasoning was something along the lines of, someone who could die any moment can't become the heir, even if he is the oldest son. Sadly for my father, I betrayed his expectations by making a recovery, but my sister Akiya was already deemed to be the heir of the Tono household. And so I've heard that Akiya, who was already being raised harshly in order to become a proper daughter of the Tono household, received an even harsher upbringing since then. That was a long time ago. I played together with Akiya in the mansion back before the accident. After that, I never saw her again. Apparently, Akiya tried to visit me a few times when I first entrusted to the Arumas. Fortunately, we were never able to meet because I had to go to the hospital every day. We completely lost contact after Akiya went to a boarding school. Unlike Akiya, I'm isolated from the main family. That's why I can live freely like this. My high school is just an average high school and our chance of contact was pretty much zero. My old man died and I received word telling me to come back. To be blunt, I had no intention whatsoever of returning to the Tono house, but Akiya is at that house. When we were children, Akiya was an obedient child, always looking frightened as if she were constantly enduring something. She'd always
Talk a little louder.
She would always follow close behind, her footsteps pattering behind me. She was frail, and her long black hair and fancy Western clothes made her resemble a French doll. I'm worried about her living all alone in that big mansion, with the old man gone. But more than anything, I feel guilty after pushing all the Tono family responsibilities on her and selfishly living a free life by myself. Perhaps my acceptance to return to the mansion is like my apology to Akiya. The Tono mansion is unnecessarily big. Surrounded by iron railings, you could say that entire lot is enormously expansive, being so large that a whole elementary school could fit inside. The garden, surrounded by trees, is more like a forest. The mansion is at the heart of that forest, and there are a few other buildings separated from it. I didn't think anything of it when I was a child, but now that I have lived in an ordinary household for 8 years, the excessive size feels almost criminal. The gates aren't locked. I push them open and head towards the mansion doors. They tower oppressively, bearing down on any visitors. Beside the iron double doors is an unmatching doorbell. Alright. Shaking off my nervousness, I press it. There isn't any affectionate ding-dong chime from the doorbell. Oh, the oppressive silence continues for a few seconds. Then the sound of pattering footsteps behind the door indicates someone's presence. We have been waiting for you. The door opens with a creak. Inside the lobby I remembered, and a young girl in an apron.
Coker!
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 Thank goodness. You're so late, I was beginning to worry that you got lost. I was thinking about going out to meet you if you haven't arrived by sunset. The girl in anachronistic apron smiles warmly.
Got
No,
it.
that's, I'm so taken aback by your outdated mode of dress that I can't even form a proper sentence. Perhaps attributing my hesitance to distrust, the girl tilts her head a little. You're Shiki-sama, aren't you? Yeah, but you don't have to call me Sama. You are, right? Oh, please don't scare me like that. I was beginning to think I had made another mistake back there. The girl's mannerisms are like those of a mother scolding her child. But
Speak a little louder, bro!
But in spite of that, there's a smile on her face and doesn't break the warm feeling about her. She wears an apron over a kimono. She comes out to greet guests and addresses someone like me with Sama. I didn't even press the right click. Okay.
Sama's like referring to someone who's like, it's like master kind of.
Oh.
Or like people oftentimes refer to their bosses with Sama and or maids to their master.
One of the maids here by any chance? The girl answers my question with nothing but a smile. Come, you must be tired. Please do come in. Akiya-sama is waiting for you in the sitting room. The girl quickly crosses the lobby and heads towards the sitting room, turning back as if she turning back as if she just remembered something. She makes a bow, a full smile on her face. Welcome home, Shiki-sama. Her greeting is accompanied by her flower-like smile. I can't think of any reply, so I just follow her hesitatingly. Guided by the girl, I head to the sitting room. Just from seeing it for the first time. I don't know if I've forgotten about it in the last 8 years or they refurbished since then.
Okay, awesome. Loud. Be loud and clear, buddy. You can read well.
Shut
Just
up!
be loud and clear.
Either way, it feels like someone else's house now, and it's unsettling. As I'm looking around the sitting room, the maid in the apron lowers her head in a quick bow. I brought Shiki-sama with me. Well done. You may return to the kitchen, Kohaku. Thank you. Seems that maid's name is Kohaku. Kohaku-san gives a small bow as if to say farewell and leaves the sitting room. This leaves me and 2 girls I don't recognize. It has been a long time, Nissan, says the girl with the long black hair and sharp eyes. All my thought processes stop at once. My mind goes blank and I can't think of any words of greeting. All I can do is nod with a yeah. I don't think it can be helped. This Akiya I've not seen in 8 years is not the Akiya I remember. She's completely transformed into a proper young lady of a noble family. Nissan? The black-haired girl tilts her head slightly. Pathetically, all I can say are dumb-sounding things. My mind is turning in somersaults to try to recognize the girl before me as Akiya, but it seems like Akiya already recognizes me as her brother. You do not look well. Would you like to rest before we talk? Akiya throws a sharp glance in my direction. Is it just my imagination that she looks like she's in a bad mood? No, I'm alright. I was just surprised at how much you've changed, Akiya. People do change over the course of 8 years, Nissan. We are in an age of change.
Remember, we're trying to hear you over the music, Doss.
I
know I keep saying this, but like, you read loudly for like a couple sentences and it sounds really good, and then over time you go,
shut up!
It's like you trail off, bro. Just pay attention to what you're saying. You gotta speak loud and clear.
We're at an age of change. Or did you think that we would remain as we were forever? What is this? I can feel the thorns in Akiya's words. No, you've definitely changed, Akiya. You've become more beautiful than before. That isn't flattery. It's how I really feel. And, indeed. But you, on the other hand, have not changed much at all. Akiya answers coldly, her eyes closed. Well, I came prepared for something like this. It is as I had thought. It seems Akiya does not think well of me. If you are feeling well, let us finish our conversation. You have yet to hear the details about why you were called back here, Nissan. I've heard nothing more than a sudden come back to the mansion, though I found out The old man passed away in the papers. If the head of a major company dies, it definitely makes it in the financial papers. Word of Tono Makihisa's death reached his son, Tono Shiki, via the newspaper after the funeral. Even though his relatives haven't told him, this this dim, sorry, this disinherited son could pick up news of his father's death merely by buying a 100 yen newspaper. It might be cynical of me to say so, but the world has certainly become a cute, convenient place. I am sorry. It was my fault that you did not get the news about father. Akio quietly lowers her head. It's alright. Either way, it's not like he would come back from the dead if I went. It's not like something you should be worried about. I am sorry. It is somewhat comforting to hear you say that. Akia's face is serious, but this is not a topic I care much about. A funeral is a ceremony for those who cannot let go of their feelings for the deceased to achieve such detachment. For someone like me, who cut off such feelings a long time ago, there is no need. Calling you back here was my idea. It would be odd for the eldest son of the Tonos to be entrusted to the Rimas forever. Now that father has passed away, the only Tonos by blood are you and I, Nissan. I don't know what father was thinking when he entrusted you to the Arimas, but he's no longer with us, so there's no longer any need for you to live with them. That's why I had you come back here. That's all well and good, but I'm quite surprised you were able to get our relatives to agree to this. Wasn't it they who came up with the idea of leaving me with the Arimas in the first place? It may be so, but now I'm the head of the Tono family. I declined every one of the proposals from our relatives. I would like you to continue living here, Nissan, but this is a place with rules. You'll avoid living the overly casual lifestyle you've been leading up until now. Haha. I'm afraid that isn't going to happen, Akio. There's no way I can go back to be some well-mannered gentleman now. Not that I want to. I will not ask more of you, but do try to. Or are you saying you're unable to do what I already have? Akio shoots me a cold look. It feels like she's hitting me with a grudge against me for leaving her here for the last 8 years. Alright, I get it. I'll try my best. Akio just stares at me, as if she doesn't quite believe me. You do not need to try as long as you get the results. Her pose is dignified, her words merciless. Let's get back to the topic. Right now, you and I are the only ones living here. I do not care for having too many people around, so I cleared everyone out. Eh? Hold on a second, Akio. You cleared everyone out? You wouldn't want to run into one of our relatives in the mansion, would you, Nissan? I put off most of the servants, but there are enough for you and I, so there are no problems. Wait, no problems? You're going to get attacked at our family meeting if you do something like that. Oh, bees, be quiet. Rather than have the mansion overflowing with people, wouldn't you feel more relaxed with just the two of us here? Well, it's true that I would feel relaxed, but you've only just become head of the family, Akio. If you go around abusing your powers like some sort of dictator, our relatives are not going to keep quiet. Even the old man didn't go against their opinions. Indeed. That's why father entrusted you to the Arimas. I, on the other hand, have despised them ever since I was a child. I'm not going to put up with their whining any longer. I'm not going to put up with... Look, Akio... enough. Just listen. You don't have to worry about me. Please, worry about your own life from now on, Nissan. I can see it's going to be difficult for you in many ways, Akio says sullenly, looking away a little. Now then, if there's anything you don't understand, ask her, Hisui.
The goat!
The goat! She looks at the girl standing by her side. The girl, called Hisui, is that how you say it?
Hisui.
Hisui, bows expressionlessly. This is Hisui. She will be your personal maid from now on. Is that acceptable? Eh? Hold on. Personal maid? You mean... In other words, she is your servant. Akio declares as if it were obvious. I can't believe it. Fitting with the western style of the house, the girl in the maid outfit stands there as if it's natural to do so. Hold on. I'm not a kid, you know. I don't need a servant. I can take care of myself. Would that include the cooking and the laundry? Akio is pretty sharp at pointing these things out. At any rate, now that you've returned to this house, you will obey my directions. I don't know how you've lived at the Arima house, but you're living at the Tono house now. Please accept everything given to you. I can't say anything, and my eyes drift towards Hisui. As expected, she simply looks back at me expressionlessly, with like a doll. Well then, Hisui, please show Nissan to his room. Yes, my lady. Yes, my lady. Hisui approaches me with a shadow-like lack of presence. I will guide you to your room, Shiki-sama. Hisui heads towards the lobby. Sighing, I head towards the lobby as well. We enter the lobby. This mansion is split into east and west wings, with the lobby in the middle. The lobby is like the body of a bird, whose wings are the halls extending diagonally to the east and west. Each wing is about the size of a small hospital. I remember the house is constructed symmetrically, so both the east and west wings have the same floor plan. Your room is this way, Shiki-sama. Hisui climbs up a flight of stairs. Seems like my room is on the second floor. Come to think of it, the servant's room should be on the first floor of the west wing. That's probably where Hisui and Kohaku-san's rooms are. Outside, the sun is already set. The girl in the maid uniform walks down the long, dimly lit hallway without a word. It kind of feels like a wonderland. Without thinking, I let my thoughts slip out. Did you say something, Shiki-sama? Hisui stops and looks back at me. No, I'm just talking to myself. Don't worry about it. After staring at me, Hisui bows and starts walking again. I guess this is what they call being at a loss for words. I'm at a loss for words.
I'm at a loss for words.
The room Hisui led me to is not one made for a mere high school student to live in. Is this my room? Yes. If you are displeased with it, I can arrange a different one for you. No, there's no way I could be displeased with it. It's just a little no. Really too fancy for me. Shiki-sama, it's fine. I'll gladly use this room. Yes. This room has not been touched since 8 years ago, so I do not believe you'll find anything unsatisfactory with it. There's something a little odd about the way Hisui said that, as if she was implying this was once my room. Hey, is this by any chance my old room? That is what I've been told. Am I mistaken? Hisui inclines her head to the side slightly. I feel relieved. It seems this girl can express emotion after all. Well, it might be now that you mention it. I do remember it faintly, so it must be so. I can't feel any sense of familiarity about this place at all, but I guess that's what it's like after you leave a place for 8 years. I can't get settled here, though. I was living in a 6.5 mat-sized room until this morning. It's like I'm staying in some high-class hotel. I understand how you feel, but please try to get used to it. From today onwards, you are the eldest son of the Tono house, Shiki-sama. You're right. I've got to do my best so I at least look like it on the outside. With a thump, I drop my bag on the table and stretch my back. I've been feeling a little stressed out with everything that's happened so far, but I guess I've got no choice but to adjust from today onwards. Shiki-sama, all your luggage have been brought here. Is there anything more you require? No, not really. Why do you ask? There was very little delivered. If there's anything you need, I can have it prepared, so please do not hesitate to ask. I see. No, I don't need anything more for now. I don't have much luggage to begin with. My luggage is just this bag, these glasses, and the textbooks in my bag and that white ribbon with an unidentified owner. That's all. Anyways, you don't have to worry about the luggage. This fancy room is more than enough for me. Understand. Well then, I shall come to you to call you in an hour's time. An hour? For dinner, you mean? Yes. Please relax until then. As expected, Hisui says everything with an expressionless face. But even if she tells me to relax, just how am I supposed to do that here? The clock says it's 6 o'clock. Usually I'd be watching TV in the sitting room around this time, but I'm having serious doubts as to whether there's any such thing in this mansion. Hisui, I know it's kind of a trivial thing to ask, but is there a television in this mansion? Television? Hisui's near slightly. I know I'm the one who asked, but is it? It is, but really is a stupid question. I feel there's something wrong with asking about the presence of a TV in a luxurious mansion like this. Hisui makes a rare, troubled face and stares off into space. There's no television in the sitting room. Some of the visitors did make use of one, but when they departed, they packed it up with their luggage and took it back with them, so I do not believe there are any remaining. Hold on. Visitors? Like who? For how long? Relatives, the eldest son of Kuga Mine-sama from a branch of the family, Taozaki-sama's third daughter and her fiance, and Kishima's sama eldest son came to stay for close to 3 years. 3 years? So that's what you call freeloaders, not visitors. Usually does not reply. No matter what
Mumbling again!
I'm not fucking mumbling!
Mumbling's when you're like, oh, you're like skipping over words. Come on, dude.
No matter what kind of people these freeloaders were, it seems that servants can't say anything bad about them. Well, at any rate, it seems like those relatives have brought and taken back their own luggage with them. My old man hating the products of modern culture, thinking them all vulgar. There was no way he could ever watch a TV. Akiya, who can educate it for the past 8 years, will probably be the same. Well, it's not like I'll die without one. Hisui is silent. Like a perfect example for servants, Hisui says nothing unless he is being asked a direct question. This is, of course, kind of depressing for me. I want to make that expressionless face break into a smile somehow, but that seems impossible with just any old half-ever... Oh, there was a library in the first floor of the West Wing, wasn't there? Maybe I'll go find something to read when I have some free time. Hisui does not reply. She just stands there in the doorway. I can't even tell where she's looking. Hisui? Hisui doesn't say a word. Suddenly, she looks straight at me. I believe there is one in Nissan's room. Huh? I have no idea what she's talking about. Oh, there's one of what? The television. I remember seeing one in Nissan's room. Hisui says after remembering something from many years ago. Hold on. Nissan? Don't tell me you're talking about Kohaku-san? Yes. Right now, the only people working at this mansion are Nissan and I. Now that she mentions it, they do look alike. I just couldn't connect them as sisters because Kohaku-san is always smiling so warmly, and Hisui is always expressionless. I see. Kohaku-san does not look like the type of person who'd watch those variety shows. But I bother going to Kohaku-san's room to tell her, let me watch your TV. Sorry, just forget I ever asked. After all, I'll be living here from now on, so I got to follow the rules of the mansion. God knows what sort of cynical comment I'll be in from Akiya if I started watching television. Seems I'd be leaving a scholarly student life fit from a member of the Tono family from now on. Alright, I'll be in my room until dinner, so just come and call me when it's time. You've got other things to do, don't you, Hisui? Hisui nods in assent and turns around. Silently opening the door, she leaves the room. Dinner takes place with... Here, I'm gonna save here.
Okay. Save. That's a save.
Okay, I think...
You think that's enough for this episode?
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, let's discuss. Turn on the menu music.
What? Is it loud?
We're gonna discuss what's happening before we end off this episode. No, not music volume. It's menu music. Just see title music volume. Just click the little turn that down. Yeah. Okay. So that was part 2.
Part 2.
We met Satsuki, or we talked to Satsuki, who's the girl in class, and she told us her getting locked in a shed and how he saved her one time, and he doesn't remember it very well. We met Akiya, Hisui, and Koker. I know I keep calling her Koker, but she is, in fact, her real name is in fact Kohaku. And that's basically all that happened. It's just all set up. Interesting stuff happens later, but that's just the beginning. Yeah, it's all set up.
Oh my god.
Yep, that's the flowchart. There's some big divergences in there. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so that's what's happened so far. Yeah. His father, you're not technically on CL's route. I don't know why the prologue images are in her thing. And then Akiya's route, for some reason, has those 2 images.
Yeah, what?
Yeah. even though the first route you're probably gonna go down is Archway, which I'll tell you the choice for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all just set up so far. We haven't had an actual route divergence yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so his dad dies, his sister calls him back home. There's some vampire serial killings going on. He's
Right.
got a friend who's a delinquent and talks like this, and there's some girl who got locked in his shed that he saved one time.
Yeah.
That's
Cool.
all. That's all.
It's gonna be it for today's episode. And,
Yeah, I guess so.
yeah.
Rush on Typhoon.
All
Okay,
right.
you can stop recording. Bye.
Bye.